I want to share some important insights on breakfast foods, eggs, oatmeal, toast, pancakes, meat, all sorts of foods that people eat for breakfast. What you eat as your first meal is going to totally affect how you feel through the rest of the day. It will also affect your ability to focus, your creative ability to solve problems, also how you sleep at night. I also want to get into fasting and just share some insights with breakfast because there are levels of good and bad. My typical breakfast that I had for years was this right here. Solace before life, cereal. Sometimes, believe it or not, I would do Pop-Tarts. I did that for many, many years. And what I did not know is I didn't have any concept of insulin resistance. Insulin is not working like it should in the cells. Insulin helps you absorb fuel, but it also helps you absorb sugar into the cells. And if you have resistance to insulin, you can't really absorb fuel. And of course, the first place to notice it is in your brain. The actual cells in my brain just weren't absorbing sugar that well. I needed more and more sugar to fuel the brain. I also didn't know how to make ketones. The way that you make ketones is you have to lower your carbs and sugar. And also you can do it with fasting. The body has no choice but to then convert over to making ketones. Ketones are a wonderful thing for the brain. Ketones bring your mood up and you're burning your own fat. When I was eating the carbohydrate breakfast, I was hungry in about an hour and a half. Once I got my body into ketosis, I could go for a long period of time without meals. I'm excited about our new product we just released called Multi-Collagen Peptides. There are a lot of collagen brands out there, but many are from animals that are not grass-fed, they're not pasture-raised. Guess what? This is. And we use the word multi because it comes from various sources. Chicken collagen, chicken egg membranes, and fish and beef collagen to have a synergistic effect on your skin, your ligaments, your tendons, your bones. If you want a high-quality collagen product, you might want to try this one. There are healthier versions of this. If we were just to improve the version of this and this to something like this, the magic spoon, right? Which has no sugars. This is a little bit better. Or something like this, keto granola. That might be a good option too. If you look at the ingredients, there's no added sugar or anything. It's just like pecans, dried coconut, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, or something like this. They're not adding all this extra sugar in there. What about oatmeal? This stuff is just pure ultra-processed food calories. They add so much sugar, starch. You don't want to have that. If we upgrade from that, then you would do like just regular oatmeal without anything added. And of course, the ultimate type of oatmeal is steel-cut oats. Yes, it's not as convenient. It takes a while to cook, like 30 to 40 minutes, but that's a lot better. I'm not going to discourage people from eating it if it seems to be working for them, but I do want to give one more upgrade. Oatmeal is something that is heavily sprayed with glyphosate. That's an herbicide. That's the stuff in all the GMO foods. But oatmeal is not GMO. Why are they spraying this herbicide, this weed killer, on oats to dry it out very, very fast? They also spray it on wheat. You're getting a lot of glyphosate, which is not good for your body. It's been shown to cause cancer and it's going to mess with your gut. If you're going to do organic oatmeal without all the other crap in it, I mean, there are people that lived on oatmeal the entire life and they're fine. They probably don't eat a lot of other processed foods. They just might add the oatmeal and they have a lot of other things. You see, you have like two extreme diets, right? You have the low carb, ketogenic diet over here, and then you also have a vegan diet over here. Both of them can get great results with things like diabetes. And then you also have really dirty keto, processed ingredients in the ketogenic like snack foods. I think if we look at the keto versus vegan and you pull out these ultra processed type refined foods, you're going to be able to reduce a lot of problems. Personally, I could not do a vegan diet. I was just literally starving. I need animal protein. Let's talk about protein for a second, especially as your first meal. If you were to make just one simple change that would produce probably the biggest effect of your life, it would be to replace your breakfast food from whatever you're eating to more protein, meat, even bacon. Let's talk about eggs, okay? Of course, there's different levels of eggs, and I'm talking about quality of eggs. You know what? If you're a college student struggling financially like I was, any egg will be better than nothing. It's going to definitely be a step up from any of this right here. What about bacon? Now, there's levels of bacon. I probably wouldn't eat bacon unless it was organic and no sugar. Eggs and bacon, perfect breakfast. Maybe you want to throw an avocado in there. Maybe you want to add some cheese. You can get some really good European cheeses in America that are raw cheese that are super healthy. I would not consume American cheese. I wouldn't do any type of Velveeta. Cheese has a lot of nutrition. Plus, it's a fermented product, so it has good bacteria. It's a good source of protein. I also do yogurt. You can do Greek yogurt. This is organic White Mountain Bulgarian yogurt. It's like a probiotic. I do like this one. Or actually even make my own probiotic. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link down below. Of course, I am addicted to coffee. I think coffee, honestly, is out of all the things, it's fine. I would try to do organic coffee. This is the type of coffee that I consume. Kick-ass coffee, and this is organic. And I'll do like a small cup with half and half cream, and that's it. If you have kids, sometimes they have a super fast metabolism, and you don't want to necessarily just give them Wonder Bread. You should try the sprouted bread. Ezekiel bread actually is one of the better breads. There's less gluten, there's less bad things. There's some other protein that I think can make you feel even better than egg protein. When I consume red meat, I also do pork sausage. There is some good nutrient density in there. In fact, out of all the things that have the most vitamin B1 is pork. Sometimes you might have kids and they don't want to eat eggs. They're finicky. They're not going to eat meat. They're not going to do the yogurt. They're going to have to do something like Ezekiel bread, right? Maybe you want to add some peanut butter to it. Of course, the best peanut butter would be the Valencia peanut butter. It's organic. You get it from Trader Joe's. If you start to lower your carbohydrate, it's going to really help your brain and really get you into ketosis. And if you have been eating carbs for many, many years, you may find that around 8 o'clock in the morning, you're getting hungry. What's happening at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're getting a spike of something called cortisol because it's a natural circadian wave. If you just ignore that and wait, that goes away. I've been doing this pattern for many years. I would eat at noon, roughly, maybe a little later, and then at dinner, right? 2 meals for a long time. And of course, I'm always experimenting back and forth. And I found something that is working a little better for me right now that you might want to try as well. What I've done is I ate a breakfast 10:30. Okay, that's my first meal of the day. And then I'll have the second meal maybe early afternoon, 3 or 4, maybe 4:30. Why am I doing that? Because I want most of the energy in the beginning part of the day. I don't want a lot of energy at night versus fasting for the first part of the day and getting my fuel from fat. But that actually worked initially for a long period of time, and it probably still would work. But I like to do a lot of physical work in the morning. Another little variable that's so important is your sleep. If you just get 1 hour or less of sleep, let's say you get 6 hours versus 7, it makes a huge change in your blood sugar and your mental cognitive state. I was living on 6 hours of sleep for years, and now I'm getting probably 8 hours of sleep, which is actually increasing at 2 hours. Wow, what a difference with my ability to go for a long period of time without needing food. My blood sugars are so much better. My cognitive function is so much better. Just wanted to do this upgraded video on breakfast foods because the type of foods that you eat for that first meal will determine so many different effects. It's crazy. Thanks for watching.